Morning students, today I am here with the video of Footprints Without Feet. That is the chapter number 5 from your books Footprint Without Feet. It has been written by H.G. Wells. Suppose a man made an invention which was never made ago. How do you think it can be applied for the benefit of the world or to ruin it? Now there was a brilliant man, a man who was named Griffin, who was as brilliant that he actually invented a few medicines, consuming which a person could become invisible. And how did he use his power? Is about the story. He, being a lawless man, he used his power to break the law and live a reckless life, whereas this power could be used for the benefit of mankind and humanity. Let's say, for example, if someone goes invisible, he could be very helpful for the section of the society who are employed in protecting law or the defense sector. They can be also used for spying and espionage purposes to make our country stronger. What did he do? He went on a spree of breaking the law. So let's figure out what's the story about. Before we move further, let's talk about H.G. Wells and let's try to figure out what sort of a person he was. His full name was Herbert George Wells. He was born on September 21, 1866 in England, and he died in August 13, 1946. In 1895, Wells became an overnight literary sensation with the publication of the novel The Time Machine. The book was about an English scientist who developed a time machine. He published The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Invisible Man, and War of the Worlds. The Island of Dr. Moreau told the story of a man who encounters a scientist conducting the gruesome experiments on animals, creating a new species of creatures. In The Invisible Man, Wells explores the life of another scientist who undergoes a dark personal transformation after turning himself invisible. He is also called the father of science fiction. He was the one who made the science fiction stories very popular. Now, a quick summary of the story. Initially, what happened in the story is two boys saw fresh footprints of an invisible man in the streets of London. These footprints were of a lawless scientist named Griffin. He discovered a rare drug which could make him invisible. His landlord disliked him and tried to reject him. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. He swallowed drugs and removed his clothes to become invisible. He was a homeless wanderer until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. He escaped easily enough from the boys who followed the footprints. As simple as that. A lawless man who had turned invisible, so he had to roam around naked, because if he put on clothes, people would understand there is a person without a head or without a face. So he was roaming naked, but he stepped in mud, and few children saw the footprints, but they couldn't see the feet. That justifies the name. He wandered in the streets of London. He faced cold weather and felt the need of clothes and food. He slept inside a big London store for warmth. He fitted himself out with warm clothes. Soon, with shoes, an overcoat, and a wide-brimmed hat, he became a fully dressed and visible person. In the kitchen of the restaurant, he enjoyed the meal. He fell asleep on a pile of quilts. He woke up late in the morning. The store attendants gave him a chase, but he made himself free by removing his clothes. Then he entered a theatrical company, where he dressed up again and looted some money from the shopkeeper. Here we see the lawlessness of the man. First, he burned down the house he lived in. Then he was roaming around naked, so he needed a place to warm himself. So, what did he do? He went inside a London store. He wore the clothes, used the quilts to sleep. The restaurant of the London store, he used it to feed himself. And finally, when he was not able to wake up on time, and the shopkeeper gave him a chase, he again threw away the clothes, became invisible, and ran away. Now he needed some money, so what did he do? He didn't try to do something extraordinary, he just simply robbed a theatrical company, stored in a theatrical company, and he injured the owner and robbed him of money and other theatrical equipments. He wanted to live freely without any disturbance. So he caught a train to Iping village and hired a room at the inn. The money of the loot did not last long, and he again had to rob a clergyman of his money. Excuse me. After some time, Mr. and Mrs. Hall visited his room. When they found the door of the room open, they found nobody inside, but the chair and other things in the room became alive. The hat lying on the bedpost leapt up and dashed itself into the face of the landlady. Then the bedroom chair became alive and it pushed the innkeeper and his wife out of the room. Now, after robbing the store, the theatrical store, he decided to move to a place where there were not many people around to disturb him. And what else did he do? He caught a train and went to Iping. He paid the rent in advance, so the landlady didn't bother much. He also disguised himself. He had robbed certain theatrical equipments like bandages, sideburns, eyebrows, and stuff like that. So he somehow managed to convince them that he was a man with a face, but his face was covered with bandages because he had some serious ailment that he was suffering from. Now, after staying for a while, obviously the rent was supposed to be exhausted after a point of time. So what could he do else? What else could he do? He then needed the money. Being a lawless man, the only idea of getting money was for him to rob someone, and he robbed a clergyman, a priest. Right? And to rob the priest, he had to again take off his clothes, take off the bandages that he had on his face, put them on the bed, and then went out to rob. While he was doing so, the door of his room was ajar, and as a result, the landlady and her husband decided to have a look inside the room. But while they were having a look, they felt somebody breathing under their ear. And before she could react, suddenly the bedpost started chasing them. After that, the chair dashed against them, and they, both of it, pushed him outside the room and then banged the door behind them. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysterics. She thought that it was a matter of witchcraft. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits and the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. By the time the news of robbery spread and everybody suspected the scientist, the suspicion grew stronger when they produced ready cash, whereas he had accepted some time before that he was expecting a check actually, he had money. The village constable was sent for. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist and asked how he came out of an empty room and how he had entered a locked room. The eccentric scientist lost his temper when he faced questions from Mrs. Hall. He threw off the bandages, spectacles, and the false nose. This made his head invisible rather. When the constable, Mr. Jaffers, reached there, He saw that he had to arrest a headless man. He tried to get hold of him, but Griffin outsmarted him by throwing away his clothes again. He became invisible and knocked down the constable out of senses. The people who tried to help the constable received the blows from nowhere. Thus, he again escaped from the scene uncatched. So that will be it for the first video. I will be coming up with the second video on this topic, where I will go give you a paragraph wise explanation of the entire chapter. Till then, all of you take care and goodbye.